All right, we are live for the first time in a while. All right, we are live for the first time in a while.
Sounds perfect, actually.
All
So I
right,
don't
we
need this
are
one,
live.
actually.
There we go. So hope everyone's having a great day today. It is Friday the 13th, right? It's Friday. Yes, it's Friday the 13th, 6:26 p.m. here in Medellin, Colombia. I moved into a new apartment. I've been doing a lot of rearranging of furniture and buying new furniture. So it took me a while to get the apartment the way I want it to look like. I still have some work to be done, but it's going. Hey, what's up, Pete's Life? Hope you're having a great day or great evening. It's already 6:26 p.m. Went live a little earlier than 6:30. Decided to change the time. I know it said 7:30, but it's 6:30 because the NBA Finals are on tonight, and I have to watch that. I totally forgot about that when I scheduled the stream. But anyway, yeah. So today's topic is going to be, we're going to talk about the top questions that people are asking about Medellin, about life in Medellin, about living in Medellin. If you don't know me, my name is Andrew. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. I've been living in Medellin for 15 years now, since 2010. I got deported from the United States, so I'm not really an expat. I'm more of a quasi-expat. I do relate and feel, I guess, kinship with expats because I lived in the United States for 26 years. But now I've been living here for 15 years, and it's been an awesome life. It's been kind of like the best thing that happened to me. Well, I don't know. I guess a lot of people say, oh, it's the best thing that ever happened to me when something bad happened to them, and then they made something good of it. I don't know what my life would have been in the United States. It might have been amazing. In California, I might be a tech billionaire. Who knows? If I didn't get deported, right? But my life is good now. Most of you know what I do out here and the work that we do, not only with real estate and the Medellin Masterclass and my own digital marketing company for clients in the U.S., but also with Help Colombia and the charity that we have out here. And now having a kid and having a family is pretty cool too. So let me know, guys, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good Friday. If you're on your drive home, don't text while you're driving into the chat. So hope everyone's having a great start of the weekend, man. It is the weekend. And it's funny because now that I sell real estate and we have our real estate brokerage firm here called Medellin Living Real Estate, my weekends are busier than my weekdays. I mean, my weekdays, I could work from home, doing stuff at home, managing businesses, doing the stuff that I need to do in the office here, right here, or I go to one of the cafes in my neighborhood. But weekends is busy because we have to show apartments. We got to go to closings during the week, which are pretty easy. But on the weekends, we have to show apartments, drive around, go everywhere. But it's awesome, man. What's up? Caminante says, what's the best way to get financing in Colombia? Good question. We'll get to that here in a second. Gordon Mack, what's up, big headed? All good, man. How you doing, Gordon? Antonio says, would love to contribute and help out on the charity. Yeah, whenever you get down here, make sure to look me up on Instagram, on Facebook. It's just Andrew Macia, my first and last name. You'll find me, hit me up, and I'll let you know how you can contribute, whether it's your time, whether it's your money. What's up, Chaz? Hope you're having a great day. Antonio says, moved out here after the convention in February. You moved out here to Medellin, I'm assuming, after the convention in February. A lot of things are happening in the United States right now that, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier this week. We had coffee and he was telling me how bad things are in the United States. And I'm like, 15 years ago, and when I grew up in the United States from 1985 until 2010 that I lived there for the 20x years, 24 years that I was there, the United States was one of the best countries in the world, man, if not the best country in the world. I love the United States of America. I was sad when I got deported and I had to leave it. But now people are telling me how bad it is and that they want to leave. It makes me feel bad because I still love the United States. I still have a lot of friends and family that live there. Most of my business is in the United States, if not with my digital marketing company and my clients out there, but also with the people that we sell real estate to here. 100% of them are foreigners, and 90% of them are from the United States. So I still love the U.S., and it just sucks that all that's happening right now. And hopefully people can figure it out and come together again. Hopefully it doesn't involve the tragedy bringing us all together again, like in the past. Hopefully things can work out. SEC Music says, what do you think could be a lucrative business to start there? Very good question. You guys have already asked two of the questions that I'm going to be answering in this live. If you're watching the recorded version, you can leave comments below and I will answer the comments below. If you're watching the live version right now, as we're speaking at 6:31 p.m. on Friday, the 13th of June, I will be answering him here live. So if you're watching the recorded version, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, because I will go live more often now that I moved to a new apartment. This is a bigger apartment. My studio's set up a lot better. I just don't have the AC installed in here just yet, but that will be coming next week. Lazy, how's it going? Lazy says, hi from Alaska. I'm moving to Cali very soon. I own an apartment in Cali and a beautiful finca up in KM30. Nice. That's amazing. Yeah, Cali is awesome. I love Cali. If Medellin didn't exist, I would live in Cali or Santa Marta. Probably Cali more, because of the infrastructure is just a little bit better there. Chaz says Cali refineries are closing. Gas may go to $8 a gallon. Dang. We don't have to worry about gas prices too much here. SEC Music says I have a smart audience. I have a smart audience, and sometimes they're smart asses too. Chaz says, when I say Cali, I mean California. Oh, you moved to Cali. Oh, you mean in California the refineries are closing. Okay, I got you. Lazy says Tulua and Venecia as well. Nice. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to write these down. In Colombia for foreigners, because we're going to talk about real estate, but I want to touch on how do you get financing in Colombia as a foreigner. And then the other question is, what's a good business down here? Business, a good business for foreigners to start in Colombia. And when I say Colombia, I mean Medellin, because this is where I live. I don't know what it would be in Bogota, in Cali, Pereira, Santa Marta, Cartagena, Bucaramanga, those other major cities in the country. I just know Medellin because I've been here for 15 years. Okay, so we got those on the list. All right, so occupancy rates on the Airbnb apartments starting up and as time goes on. Okay, very good. Well, I could answer that right away. So the first year of Airbnb is probably going to be around 50 to 60% occupancy. And then depending on where you are, and that's in El Poblado, and I'm talking about like the tourist areas like Provenza, near Parque Lleras, near Parque del Poblado, Astorga, Manila, even Patio Bonito. The occupancy rate is probably the first year is probably going to be around 50 to 60%. And then after that, it could be 70 to 90%, depending on how you manage and how you do marketing, etc. So it all depends on how you manage the business or who manages it for you. But yeah, occupancy rates are pretty high right now. On my Airbnbs, they're over 85% this year, which is insane. We're closer to 90%, and we have done zero marketing. I know that some of you guys follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on this channel. I never even mentioned my own Airbnbs to fill them, because they're literally, as of today, we're booked until October on my Airbnbs. So it's pretty crazy how good real estate is going right now. When I say real estate, I mean the Airbnb business or the furnished rental business is going out here. You're going to see me marketing more of my Airbnbs soon on this channel and on my other channels, because I want to get away from platforms, because they do charge a lot. It's nice to not have to do a lot of marketing, because Airbnb pushes our property very hard and well, because we're a 5-star property. But it would be a lot better if I didn't have to pay them or give up the around 20% that you give up to Airbnb. So yeah, that would be a lot nicer. Lazy says, I buy everything in cash. I don't work. Dang, must be nice. Edward Cruz, what do you think about Ciudad del Rio? Edward, I love Ciudad del Rio. Actually, when I was moving apartments, I left my apartment in Manila for a couple of reasons. It was a 5-floor walk up with no elevator. I've lived there for almost 10 years. It didn't have any amenities. And it was just a standalone building, but in Manila. So the amenity is Manila, the neighborhood. If you've been down here, you know Manila is pretty awesome. So I loved living there. But now that I have a kid, I wanted a place that has a pool, jungle gym, security, other kids for him to grow up playing with. Because I remember when I was a kid, man, you couldn't get me out the street. I'd be playing basketball, soccer, baseball, hockey, every single sport on the street until my mom had to come out and yell at us to get back in, right? So I want that to happen for my kid. And I found a big complex, like a condo here that has all of that. So I moved, and then I gave my apartment to my brother, who moved back here from Barranquilla to help us with the business because he's part of our business. So it's awesome that he's here and he took over my apartment. I'm in this apartment now, and before I got this apartment in Patio Bonito, I was looking at Ciudad del Rio. The thing that I don't like about I'll give you the pros. The pros about Ciudad del Rio is that it is all flat. It is part of El Poblado. You can walk everywhere. It's like a city within a city. You've got a grocery store, restaurants, cafes. You even got a museum up in there. You've got everything. And it's pretty easy to get in and out of it because it's right on a major street, which is Las Vegas Avenue here. So getting in and out is really easy. If you need to go one of the bigger malls, you can. It's really easy. Getting an Uber is super easy, etc. But the thing that I don't like about it is that most of those buildings are very new or newish. I mean, within the last 15 years, they were built. That means that they're very small. You're talking about they're cramming 3 bedrooms into like less than 900 square foot apartment. That's the one caveat where that, you can find really great neighborhood and it's a great neighborhood and you can find great apartments with amenities, but the apartments themselves will be a little smaller. So that's what I don't like about Ciudad del Rio. Moto Fishy, what's up? Medellin could always use a few more Tejo spots. That's true. Oh, they just built, I saw that they have Tejo at one of the restaurant places here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What about regular financing in Colombia? Not just for foreigners. Yes, I will touch on that when I get to the real estate question here that I'm going to go through. I'm going to go through the top 5 questions. I'm going to keep this live to just an hour. We'll finish at 7:30 so that I could go watch the NBA Finals. I am a big basketball head. What happened to your old apartment, bro? Oh, I told you. Yep, I just told you. Lazy Cali and many other towns have been getting floods really bad. I know, it's been raining a lot. It's been raining a lot here as well. I had a pool built at my finca 2 years ago. The crew was all from Medellin. That's awesome, Lazy. I'm going to have to go there with my family and my kid. I heard you talk of Castropol too. Would you live there? Castropol? I did live near Castropol. I lived on La Linde, which is adjacent or parallel to Castropol. And I liked it. I like La Linde. I like Castropol. It's very desirable. It's the thing that I don't like about it. The thing I like about it is that the buildings are older, so you've got bigger, they're bigger apartments, and you've got great views because it's on a hill. The caveat and the con is that it's on a hill. So if you like to ride a bike, if you like to walk everywhere like I do, the hill is no joke. I mean, you'll get your workout just walking up it, but not every day. Like going down to the grocery store, because there's a grocery store right down on Avenida Poblado. You can walk to it, but you're not going to be walking back up with groceries up that hill. It's really hard. I've done it and it sucked. Edward says, I love Manila neighborhood. I do too. James Christian, what's up? Hope you're having a great day. Is Medellin safe right now? I ask because of everything that has been going on in Cali, Colombia. Medellin is very safe. And from my friends that live in Cali, Cali has been safe as well too. I mean, the violence that has happened in Cali is very targeted violence. It's not just like random acts where, kids are getting shot up at schools or at the universities or at movie theaters, etc. That would be scary. But it's very targeted. It's very political. The likelihood of someone getting caught up in it is very low. You'd have to have a lot of bad luck. Are you familiar with Turbo? I have never been to Turbo. where they are building a new shipping and cargo terminals, possible investment there. Yeah, Turbo is interesting. It's very impoverished. I know that. I've never been there, so I don't know. But I know that in order to get to some of the beautiful beaches like Capurganá and Sapsuro, is it Sapsuro? Yeah, Sapsuro. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to go through Turbo, and then obviously it's a port city, so it's not as beautiful. I think most port cities in the world are not the most beautiful cities of the country, but they serve a function. Matt Hardick, how's it going? Hardrick. Are you familiar? Oh, that was you. Edward Cruz says, awesome, thank you for answering. I bought an apartment sobre planos behind the Modern Art Museum, but I won't have the keys until October. Oh, nice, congratulations. That'll make a good rental when you're not in it, that's for sure. I'm buying a new pickup in Cali and having it blindado. Anti-bombs too. Andreas asks, whoever is doing that with me, the emojis, I love you. What? Hey, what's up, Ruel? What's up, brother? Yeah, I'm a neighbor now. Ruel lives, he's got an apartment in Patio Bonito. Caminante says, what do you think about getting a loan against a stock portfolio in order to finance a home in Medellin and get a better rate than Colombian financing institutions for Colombian? That's a great idea. I would think that's a good idea as long as you're diversified and money is not something that you really need, or the interest from that stock portfolio is something that you're not counting on monthly. It could be a great idea because buying real estate anywhere in the world is a risk. The great thing about Colombia is that it's a safer bet than a lot of other major cities, that could be riskier. But I think that's a really good solution, actually. What I did for financing was paid 30% out of pocket. When the time comes, I will pay 70% balance. Yes. Oh, so you paid the 30% up front. Nice. Okay. Ivan Castano, what's up, Ivan? How do you go about finding a job teaching English? I'm a dual national American Colombian. Ivan, I highly suggest you get your TEFL certificate, TEFL certificate, or your TESOL, TESOL certificate. Costs about $1,000. You could do it online, but that opens your doors a lot more. It definitely helps you get jobs out here because most universities or private schools will ask for that, for at least a TEFL. The TESOL is good enough. They're both good enough. They're both really good. I got the TESOL, what was it, like 10 plus years ago when I started teaching English down here. And I got it locally at a school, and I had to go to class, which was actually really fun. Let's see. Lazy asks or says, I've never been to Medellin, but I'm excited to check it out. You guys are nice. You guys have nice hotels and apartments there. Yeah, the infrastructure is really great here, and it's only getting better, and it's only going to get more expensive. So that's why I tell people, and ask, what do you think about investing or buying real estate in Medellin right now? I'm going to be like, the only regret that I have about buying real estate is that I didn't buy it, 15 years ago. I started buying real estate here 6 or 7 years ago, before the pandemic, 2018. So, I wish I would have bought it earlier. And to those that haven't bought property and they're thinking about it right now, if you don't buy it right now and you continue to come, you're going to be kicking yourself come 5 years from now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What is? Colombia is most likely getting a conservative president next year. Yeah, I mean, traditionally Colombia has been conservative, and it will probably go back to that. I mean, the whole House of Reps and the Senate here is conservative. That's why Petro really hasn't done much. Best sports bar to go to in Medellin, Pete's Life. Oh, that's a good question. I love 3 bars. I love 4 places, actually. My number one go-to is I Way on Calle 10 near Provenza. The second one that I really love is in Barrio Manila called Vibe, V-I-B-E. The third one, which I really love because of the bartenders, they're super awesome. Sarah being my favorite one. They're very fun, and the owner is really cool, and they have a poker night. I don't play, but it's cool to go because there's a bunch of guys there drinking and watching games, playing poker. It's called Medellin Sports Bar in Laureles. And then the fourth one, which I go to because of the food and the Jumbotron, is Mama Panda. If you haven't seen the video on my channel on Mama Panda, make sure to check that out. Hey, what's up, Jamie? Just talking about you. Well, you, kind of. We were talking about, what do you call it? I Weigh. Caesar says, saludos from New York. What is the latest you can be at Parque Las Luces? The latest to be at Parque Las Luces is never. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, during the day it's fine. I would never go to Parque de las Luces at night unless if there's like a concert or something. Sometimes in August during Feria de Flores, they will have concerts at Parque de las Luces in downtown. I've been there. I watched Chucky Town. They won a Grammy. That was awesome, and it was a free concert during the Flower Festival. A few years ago in August. So, just walking about, I don't see why you would ever want to walk around Parque de las Luces at night. There's really nothing to do, unless if it's December or Feria de Flores. But you wouldn't be walking around by yourself. You're going on a chiva and you're going by it, or you're stopping at it because there's an event. Antonio, in your opinion, how will the presidency next year affect the future of Colombia? I think it'll affect the future in a positive way, because I believe that the next president will probably be conservative, and usually that moves the country's economy, that increases safety across the board. Look at Medellin. Medellin, went from a kind of a liberal or a left-wing mayor to now a very conservative mayor in Fico, and it's gotten safer. The economy has risen, tourism has risen, safety has risen. So it's been overall great so far. Caminante asks, what services do you provide and how much do you charge for a consultation? I charge about, I think it's like $140 for consultation one-on-one on a Zoom call. I'll drop the link in the description after I'm done here. If you want to book it, you can. I usually don't do those very much because most people that are, going to buy a property out here or whatever, they fill out the form. That form is in the description as well. But if you're not buying a property and you need a consultation, feel free to hit me up. And you could even ask some preliminary questions, when you fill out the form or whatever. And if I can't answer them, I'm not going to take the consultation. I'm like, I don't know these questions. But if I can answer them, obviously I will take it. Andreas, what's up? Andreas says, your content's amazing. I'm so pumped I found your channel. Hey, let's go. Thank you so much for being here, man. Great vibes. Parcero, yes. Pereira is blowing up. Tons of new construction all over. I haven't been there in like 5 years. Matt asks, tried Juliana's Taqueria off your recommendations. Great food and drinks. Any more restaurant recommendations? Yeah, King Curry. King Curry in Manila, man. That's probably the best Indian food. It's a newer spot. It's probably the best Indian food curry in Medellin. It's called King Curry. Thank me later. Still better to buy real estate in America and make dollars. Their rents are too cheap. In Colombia, I'd rather invest in stocks. Absolutely. If you have the money, for example, if you have the money and you live in the United States, of course you want to buy a property in the United States. People that are buying in Colombia are people that are going to be living in Colombia, whether it's part-time or full-time. Most of them that watch this channel are like that. If they're not, then I don't know why they would be watching the channel. Like, oh, I don't want to ever live in the United. I never want to live in Colombia. I don't even know where it is. Well, then buying property in Colombia is probably not for you. It's more of a lifestyle, and the perk is that tourism is up right now, so you will make cash flow. Gordon Mack says, where is the red light district in Medellin? If you come here, you'll find out. It's not hard to find. Caminante says, yeah, Pereira is cool. Santa Rosa de Cabal is dope. I've been there. Yeah, I love that. Steven says, what do you think of the safety of the area around San Diego Mall near Las Palmas? Preferable or comparable to Laureles. Thank you. They're both they're both adjacent to downtown. So I think you'll get, lower quality people. When I say lower quality people, meaning like you'll get bums walking through the streets. Laureles, same thing. You could be in the nicest neighborhood in Laureles, but because it's all flat and it's adjacent to downtown Medellin, you're going to find bums, sometimes sleeping at a doorstep or walking through. It's easier for robbers to get in and out to their low end or low income neighborhoods. That's why people always say, oh, El Poblado is probably the most dangerous because that's where the bad guys go to rob. And I would disagree with that because Laureles is closer to their hoods and it's an easier getaway. Poblado is all the way across. There's no hoods near it. So they have to literally go across town just to get back to their hoods, and they'd probably get caught now because there's so many cameras. They're putting cameras like on every corner now. So it's making it a lot harder for these people to jack people. That's why, like, if you follow a lot of the Colombian news sites or like the tabloid pages on Instagram or on Facebook, when you see, robbers caught on film robbing people on the street, I haven't seen one in El Poblado in probably a couple of years now. It's mostly Laureles, Belén, which are adjacent to the very low income neighborhoods, right, where they reside. They can get back. I made my money as a real estate investor and retirement funds, retired at 47. Nice, congratulations. Khalid says, what's up, Hussein? Hi, Andrew. I'm coming to Medellin in August. What are the up and upcoming neighborhoods? It's a secret. You got to be my client for me to tell you that. No, it's pretty easy to tell in Medellin. I mean, anything near Provenza is up and coming already. So if you're priced out of Provenza, then you start moving out a little bit until you're priced right. So anything near Provenza is up and coming. Medellin is up and coming. Laureles is up and coming. They're going to be building a tram or like an extension to, not even an extension, a whole new line through Laureles in 4 years. The money is already coming to the government here from the Colombian government to make this happen. So it will be happening within the next 4 years. And that's going to change the face of many of the neighborhoods in Laureles that literally the only way in and out is through buses for a lot of people. Colleen says, if I was creating an LLC with my Colombian friend, is the business able to acquire financing for properties? The LLC would have to have credit in the United States. You mean an LLC in the United States? There are equivalents of LLC in Colombia, and those can also, they're entities, just like in the United States when you build a company or a corporation or a limited liability company, they're entities that can acquire credit. So it just depends on how you manage the company and the credit, right? The income and expenses, etc. Andreas, Colombia as a whole is becoming much more tourist friendly. Your thoughts? I believe it's always been tourist friendly. It's just that it was kind of undiscovered, 15, 20 years ago. You'd only have backpackers out here. But now more tourists have found out, and Colombians as a whole are friendly. So of course they're going to be friendly to tourists as long as they're cool, right? I buy property in Colombia, but not for renting yet. I'd have to buy 10 3-bedroom apartments to make the rent of 1 3-bedroom house here. Yeah, exactly. But then you'd have to live in the United States. And many of the people that are coming down here and that watch this channel don't want to be in the United States full time. Steven says, thanks for the answer, my man. Enjoy your channel. Thank you. I really like your channel because you inspire me and give me hope for the new generation. Yeah, that's true. I don't think you could say that, you're an inspiration or whatever. I just try to live my life and be as positive as possible and work hard. And I think everyone should be doing that, right? And it's possible. If I can do it, someone that never graduated the university, went to jail at 22 years old, got deported at 28 years old in 2010, came here with nothing. I had to restart and continuously starting businesses. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but never give up and always am happy. If I can do it, then you can do it too. It's not something that's unattainable. What does it take to get a permanent residency in Colombia? Well, you'd have to get some sort of visa to begin with, right? You have to get whether it's an investor visa, a shareholder visa, a marriage visa, and then apply for residency after you meet all the requirements and time to apply for residency. The easiest is just to get married. So come down here, get married. Yes, EDC is coming in 2026. I'm not an electronic music fan, but EDC is coming, the EDC festival. So I will definitely be going with friends and stuff because it's just another fun thing to do out here. The younger generation are less financially literate. I think most people around the world are financially illiterate because it's not part of the education system or the government's MO to educate the masses on how to, manage finances, how to make money, how to build a business, how to invest. They want workers, right? And that's everywhere, from the United States, from the top countries in the world, down to the lowest countries, lowest economic countries in the world, right? All right, so Colleen says, if you open a Colombian LLC with a group of friends to buy a property worth $200,000, does everyone own the LLC able to acquire the investor visa? No. You'd have to, first of all, consult an attorney on this, but from my knowledge, you wouldn't be able to because it would only be good for one person. I don't even know if it would be good for one person. That's a good question for an attorney. You should definitely contact either nexo.legal or Langdon Law for that. If you become my client, I use my personal lawyer who's a rock star as well. Her name is Juliana. So if you need that, fill out the form. The link is in the description below. Let's see. Oh, hey, thank you, Easy Rollins, for the $2 dono. Rule says Lorena said no less than VIP for EDC. Yeah, of course. Can't get non-VIP. Who do you think I am? Hey, what's up? Michael says thanks. No problem. Ivan says you don't look like someone who was in prison. Most people that are in prison don't look like they belong in prison either. What shirt is a vibe? That shirt is a vibe. I know. I got this on Amazon, by the way. I was looking for like Mexican because I love, the Catrinas. So I'm like, in Colombia, they don't do skulls like they do in Mexico. And I couldn't find a shirt here that had skulls on it like this. So I just found it on Amazon and got it shipped. We're looking at making the move, and my kids are looking at schools in Envigado. Any advice or like-minded people we can connect with and help with the transition? Yes, F Mesa. Look up this on
for the first time in a while
on Google. Just type in MDE community. Here, I'll type it in for you just so that you have it. MDE community. There you go. MDE community. You'll find the website. The website has a bunch of links to WhatsApp group chats. And there's a really good group chat for parents in Medellin. My kid is 1 year old, but I want him to go to like the top elementary school out here. And we've already started the admission process. Imagine 4 years out. He's not going to be going to school, for another 3 years until he's 4, where he goes to kindergarten. But you have to start the admission process early. So definitely talk to the people in that group. I'm in that group, MDE community. That's a great resource. What's up, Clara Rincon? Hola. Patio Bonito is a flat area in El Poblado. It's great. You can walk anywhere. And it's got new cafes. It's got a whiskey bar. Literally, there's a whiskey bar like a block away from me. It's amazing. All right. So let's get into the content, guys. Okay. So the top questions that people ask on Medellin. So I got to redo that for the video. I just fucked up. The top questions that people ask about living in Medellin. And this goes for my channel, people that comment on my videos, and also on Facebook groups. I see these questions pop up all of the time. The number one question that people ask is, Medellin safe for foreigners? The short answer is yes. The long answer is that violent crime has significantly dropped in Medellin. If you want to compare it to the 1990s, where the homicide rate was over 260 per year, per 100,000. In the 1990s, the homicide rate was 266 for 100,000 inhabitants. Now it's around 24 per 100. Also, we've seen an overall drop between 2024 and 2025 in crime trends. The city saw a 44% overall drop in high-impact crimes in 2024 compared to 2023. And nationally in Colombia, there was a 10%, almost 11% decrease in total crimes from 2022 to 2023. I don't have the data for 2024 and 2025 yet, but the trend is that it is decreasing. But there is still risks you have to be worried about. And when I say worried, it's being more mindful than worried. There are risks that you should be mindful about. For example, petty crime, like getting pickpocketed at a festival, at a concert, leaving the concert, getting drunk and leaving a bar, or getting drunk and leaving a club, and getting pickpocketed. That could be something to worry about, something that you should be aware about. If you've got an expensive phone, if you've got an iPhone 16, iPhone 15 or whatever it is, and you know that you're going to go out, you know you're going to get hammered, probably leave it at home or get a burner phone just in case you leave it somewhere or get pickpocketed, whether it's in the club or outside of the club, things like that. Whether you're going to go out and get mugged at gunpoint, the likelihood is very low. And it always depends on where you live and how you carry yourself. If you're going out with a Rolex and a gold chain, the likelihood of you getting robbed is very high. If you go out there with nothing on and you're even if you look like a foreigner, they go after easy targets. When I've seen robberies here, whether it's on the news or on the internet, it's usually people that have been scoped out. They know that this guy wears a gold chain. They know that this guy's wearing a Rolex or an expensive watch, or that he's pulling out tons of money from the bank. And that goes for locals. I'm not even talking about foreigners. This is for locals. That's the type of crime that happens here. They don't want to just pull a gun on someone and take their iPhone 7. Right? For them, that means nothing. So they are more methodical in that process. So it's just best not to, be flashy. And I know it sucks, especially for people that are coming from, first world, quote unquote, countries or developed nations where, you can go out with a Rolex. You could go out with a gold chain to many places around there and never worry about it, right? But if that's your lifestyle, then this might not be the greatest place for you, unless if you're going to hire like a bodyguard or something. But there are places where you could wear your Rolex and a gold chain. For example, like some high-end restaurants, the bougie clubs, etc. But if you go out there and get drunk and you know nobody, that can put you at risk. So it's just best first to make friends, have a network of people, understand the culture, understand the way of life out here, and then make the decisions on whether you're going to wear your $30,000 watch and your $10,000 chain type thing, right? Because people do it out here, but it's people that, are either locals or they've been here for a long time and they know what they're doing. Yeah, that's that. So is Medellin safe for foreigners? Let's see, do I have any more stats on this? No more stats. Okay, so is Medellin safe for foreigners? Overall, the answer is yes. Should you be worried? The answer is no. You shouldn't come. I wouldn't recommend you come out here and if I thought that you would be coming down here and looking over your shoulder and paranoid. I would hate to travel like that. I would hate to live like that. I don't live like that. I wouldn't go to a country where I had to live like that. I wouldn't go to a country where there's a curfew because there's crime at night. And I wouldn't be telling and sharing that with people out there, because if I did that and then you came down here and you saw otherwise, imagine what my comment section would be like on my videos. Obviously, it's not like that because Medellin overall is safe for people. It's just that some people do stupid things, right? Some people are very flashy. Some people get hammered, drunk, or on cocaine and 2C for all night, and then they get robbed, or they start messing with prostitutes along with drugs and alcohol and get into dicey situations. And I guess that could happen pretty much anywhere where that is legal, because, prostitution is legal in Colombia and drugs are decriminalized, at least cocaine and marijuana are. So, that makes it kind of like this, a perfect storm for someone that wants to come out here and fuck up. All right, let me go to the comments here and then we're going to go to number 2. The beaches in Santa Marta and Cartagena. I love Santa Marta. Cartagena is too touristy for me. I don't enjoy Cartagena. I enjoy Cartagena when I go for a weekend. Santa Marta, I could go for a whole week and have fun. and really enjoy it and relax. You have to live in a bubble to be 100% safe. Ivan, that is absolutely not true. Whoever told you that, or however you believe that, is leading you astray. Lazy says, I always wear my gold chain. Yeah, I see people wearing gold chains here all the time. Would I do it? No, because number one, I don't like to wear gold. Even in the United States, well, I never had money in the United States enough to, have the luxury of having gold stuff. But now that I do have money and I could buy anything I want, really, or any gold chain, I guess, it's just not part of my personality, so I wouldn't. Number two is that I don't want to have to worry about, walking home at night type thing. I would rather just not do that and be fine. Hey, there's my mom, Conociendo con Rocío. ¿Qué más, mom? Lazy says, most people think my real gold chain is fake. Yeah, that's true. I mean, again, robbers are opportunistic, especially out here. They're not going to want to hold up someone if it's a fake chain and then they got nothing to show for, and then they might get caught and go to jail, even if it's overnight, because that's what happens usually to robbers out here. My watch is only $35. Nice. I have friends and that will buy like replicas of the watches that they have, which is kind of cool, I think. Derwin, what's up, Derwin? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day, Derwin. Long time no see. How's Bucaramanga? I haven't been to Bucaramanga, but I hear it's beautiful. What are your strategy to buy property in Colombia as a Colombian citizen? Cash right now. We're also working on this is kind of a little, I guess, sneak peek into what we're doing here in the future. Is we're working on a real estate investment trust or a real estate investment group for people that want to buy with us, and group them together, obviously forming it legally through a corporation, etc. Buying property, holding it for a while, and then selling it for a profit, making, cash flow as we hold it, and then selling it for a profit once it appreciates. So that's my next strategy. I have a couple friends that are already doing that, and I think it's a great strategy. Khalid says, which restaurant do you recommend for the first night? For your first night, which restaurant do I recommend? Dang, that's a good question. Try Mamacita. Mamacita in Manila is really good Colombian cuisine. Get like the bandeja paisa. Get the most, or Ato Viejo. Here, Mamacita or Ato Viejo. Those are the most Colombian, nicer restaurants that there are in El Poblado. There's really good ones in Sabaneta and Envigado as well, but these two are right here in El Poblado. M. Torres says, what's your strategy? Oh, that was you. Melissa Torres says, love the shirt. Hey, I love you. Melissa says, I'm moving there next month. I'm Colombian blooded. You're Colombian blooded. I've never heard it explained like that. Okay, you're Colombian, but born in the United States. Okay, I'm extremely grateful for your videos. Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you are Colombian blooded too. I am too. What home construction companies or real estate firms accept American checks? None. Well, as far as I know, I have no idea. Colossal Restaurant's really good for the view. The food is good, but the view is amazing. Faith and Familia, what's up? I have $35,000. Should I invest in a business there or save it and buy an investment home for visa purposes? That's a really loaded question. I don't know your business background. I would never start a business in a country, in an industry that I wasn't aware. Like, for example, if I was a restaurateur in the United States, I would come down here, consult with other restaurateurs, get a lawyer, find out how business is done in Colombia, because it's very different than it's done in the United States, especially when it comes to like hiring people, work ethic, the work culture, and taxes. All this stuff you have to learn. So to throw $35,000 into a business right now with zero knowledge, I would not recommend that, to be honest. I would first get educated and then figure out if it's the right move. Yeah, I mean, $35,000, you might as well just put it into like a CD or something that will gain some interest while you learn. Melissa, you're very gringa. Yeah, that was very gringa of you. La Matriarca, I do like that restaurant roll. Rob says, where are you from? I was born in Bogota. I was raised in California. But I feel more paisa because the most I've lived in Bogota was a year when I was a year old, right? When I was a baby. And then when I came back in 2010, I lived there 6 months. And I've lived in Medellin for 15 years. So I definitely feel more paisa. Soy más paisa que la arepa, hombre. Last Flight. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Guys, check out Last Flight Out on his YouTube channel. Is really good. He does Medellin videos as well, but he does other country videos as well. He's a world traveler. What happened to the other guy that you used to do the Colombia podcast, the black guy from Canada? You mean Joel? Joel is kind of traveling the world. He's laying low. He loves to travel. He's having fun. We still work together. He still lives he was my neighbor until like last week. I moved out of the building. Faith and Familia, coffee shop, co-working space with nannies catered towards mamas. There are no coffee. That's a really good question. I don't know about co-working spaces that have nannies catered to moms. I know there's a WeWork here, but finding a nanny here is super cheap and very easy to do. Again, check out MDE Community. Just Google it, MDE Community. Find the group chat that you're looking for, which is the Parents in Medellin group chat, and there you'll get all of the recommendations that you're looking for. Colleen says, do you foresee Colombia as a whole be a good real estate investment or just Medellin? I think parts of Colombia could be good for real estate investing. I don't know them because I don't live there and I don't do business there. I just know Medellin, and I know that Medellin is on the rise. Yeah, we haven't seen the peak yet. I mean, it's only going to get better here. As for other cities, I suggest doing your own due diligence and let me know. All right, so M. Torres says, do you think foreigners are still buying and investing in rental properties in Medellin, or the market already saturated? Well, you do know that I have a brokerage firm here, right? We sell real estate. 100% of our clients are foreigners. Guess how many leads a day we get filling out our form? It's between 2 to 5 leads per day when we post videos on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook that fill out our form of people that have cash that want to buy a property out here. We just got started. Our brokerage firm is new. We're not even a year old. And already we're averaging almost 2 closes a month with only foreigners. So imagine companies like Primavera Realty, Every Place, Premium Properties that have been here for decades. They're closing probably 20 to 30 a month, 20 or 30 deals a month to foreigners. So the market is huge right now and it's hot, especially for foreigners coming down here, especially because of what's happening in the United States. We've got a lot of people that are fleeing or looking for a plan B, which I think is great because even if it's not a plan B or you're not fleeing, you're discovering a new culture. You're in a country that's awesome, and you get to discover my country and my city, which is awesome for me, and I love that. Junior Ocampo says, what digital marketing company would you recommend that I meet in person? Perhaps they have an office in Medellin. I don't know any local digital marketing companies. I have my own boutique little digital marketing company, but we do digital marketing for mental health facilities in the United States. We're very niche. We don't even do marketing. We don't even acquire new clients because we've had these clients for almost 10 years, over 10 years now. Sorry about that. Your doppelganger is comedian Luis J. Gomez. I didn't know. I don't even know who that is. I'll have to look it up. Hold up. Let me check. I'm going to call you out on this if it looks nothing like me. No, I don't. He's bald. He's bald. How do I look like this guy? Maybe just a smile. I think we do have a very similar smile. Victor Flores has recommendation for comedy clubs. There's an improv in Astorga. If you look up Astorga Improv, there's an improv there. I've never been to any other comedy club here. Oh, Águila Descalza, but that's not a comedy club. It's more of like a playhouse, and they do only comedy skits. It's called Águila Descalza. That's in downtown. All right, so we're going down the list of the top questions that people ask about living in Medellin. The number one that we went over, the first one that we went over was, is Medellin safe for foreigners? Answer is yes, just don't be stupid. And I guess that's being harsh, because if you're a tourist, if you're a foreigner and you've never even been out of the country, it's hard to tell people, hey, don't be stupid, because you don't know what you don't know. This is do research. Don't get overwhelmed by all of the negative videos that get millions of views. That's why they do negative videos, because they get millions of views. I've got a ton of positive videos on my channel. They don't break 2,000 views because you guys don't want to see that. You want to see the prostitutes going up and down the street. You want to hear about the people that got drugged and killed, or the people that are getting robbed. That's what people want to hear, and unfortunately, that's what sells. So that's why YouTubers make that. Fortunately for me, I sell real estate, so I only want to show you the reality of it. Yes, it's safe, but if you come out here and you think you're bigger than life itself, you might get caught, right? You might get got, as DC Born Rob says. Okay, so number two, how much does it cost to live comfortably? Cost of living in Medellin, Colombia. I always tell people $2,000 is around. If you want to be comfortable in Medellin, have around $2,000. You can do it on $1,500. If you're a single person, by the way. If you're a family, it's going to be a little bit more, especially if you want to live in a nice neighborhood in El Poblado. If you're going to be living in Laureles, that's going to go down a little bit, although Laureles has gotten more expensive lately. If you're going to be living in Belén, that's going to go down. If you're going to be living in Envigado, you can live on a lower budget. But I'm talking about El Poblado, in a nice neighborhood where you could walk everywhere, or where you could grab a cab and go somewhere really fast, etc., with security, maybe amenities in the building. $2,000 is going to be kind of like where you need to be at. If you have less than that, you might be looking at other neighborhoods that are not in El Poblado and not in the expensive areas of Laureles. But that doesn't mean that they're bad neighborhoods. There are a lot of very good neighborhoods that are just lower income, so and less touristy and less desirable for locals as well. That could be great, particularly like in Envigado. Envigado is desirable for locals, by the way, but for tourists, they don't even know it because it's not even in Medellin. It's adjacent to Medellin. Places like Belén, which is further away from El Poblado than Laureles is. It's further than Laureles. So there are places, especially if you're a seasoned traveler, if you're a seasoned expat, those neighborhoods will seem very safe to you and very nice to you. If you're just fresh off the boat, you know, if you're a fob, that's what they used to call my Asian friends, or they used to call each other that, fobs. If you're fresh off the boat into Colombia, into Medellin, you'll go into some of the neighborhoods in Belén that are very low or lower income. You know, we're talking about like middle class or working class Colombian. And you'll think like, yeah, I don't want to live here. You know, this will be cool to visit, maybe get an Airbnb, see what it's like, but I want to live in a nicer neighborhood. So you just have to come down here, and that's what I recommend. Get an Airbnb for a month in a place or a couple weeks. See if you like the neighborhood before you actually say, okay, now I'm going to do everything in my power to get an unfurnished rental here for a year and live here, because that's really what you need to do. So yeah, so if you're a single expat, $1,500 to $2,000, kind of minimum for me. $1,500 minimum to live out here comfortably, where you don't have to do a lot, you know, of public transportation. Although it's fun when you first get here, going on the bus day after day, like I did when I got here, because I got here broke. I had to work downtown, and I lived in a faraway neighborhood. So I had to take a bus, I had to take the metro, go at rush hour, waking up at 5 in the morning, teaching class at 6 a.m. and then going home around 5 p.m. at rush hour was absolutely horrid. I did it for 4 years, and I will never do it again because I don't have to now. But it was a good experience. It builds character. Yeah, there's some nice accommodations in Las Palmas. See, yeah, places like that. The further out in El Poblado or adjacent to Poblado that you get, you're going to get better rentals, and they're still nice. It's still nice apartments, nice buildings with amenities, etc. So you just have to come out here and look. And that's the best thing to do. You can look all your life on YouTube, on Google, looking for apartments, looking for places, but nothing's going to beat you coming down here and getting an Airbnb for 2 weeks or a month or 2 months and walking and hitting the pavement, talking to security guards, etc. That's the best way. Manuel G says, don't come here. We don't want you people here. Well, that's an easy way to get banned from the channel. Rob says, hear what Manuel G said. The gentrification of Medellin is not welcomed by all Colombians. No, just like most foreigners are not welcomed in the United States. There are Colombians that are idiots that feel, I guess, maybe threatened by foreigners coming here because they're not educated, they don't make money, and they don't see a way out. So what do those people do? The same thing that people that support a certain character in the United States do. They blame it on other people. They put the blame on other people because they have insecurities and they have had shortcomings. And it's not their fault. It could have been the way that they were raised, and they happened to be born in a poor family. They didn't go to school. They never got a good job. They have to work very hard, and now things are getting more expensive because, number one, inflation here is 10% every single year, even without the tourism. It has been for like the last 10 years, or 15 years, about 10%. So no matter what, it'll always be negative for these people. And it's just easier to find the scapegoat into something that is seen on the news or on YouTube or on social media, which are tourists coming down here and expats coming down here. But overall, most people love foreigners out here. For example, that Manuel G guy, he would never tell this to your face when he saw you, when he sees you. That's what I find about most people that are trolls online, is that they will never tell you to your face when you see them, because he's probably 4'5" and like 300 pounds. Well, if he's Colombian, he's probably 95 pounds. T-Mac, what's up, T-Mac? If you have an unfurnished apartment, you could do it for $1,500, $1,700. I might spend that much per month in Laureles. Exactly. That's T-Mac. He's part of the Medellin Masterclass. He lives here full time, and he's speaking facts right there based on his own experience living in Laureles full time now. He's part of our Medellin Masterclass. That's awesome. If you have if you have an unfurnished apartment, there's a pretty sizable Filipino population in Medellin. Yeah, Filipinos and Colombians are kind of similar. I mean, they're kind of Hispanic Filipinos. I wish more taxis accepted cards. All you got to do is download Uber, and there's a taxi option, and pay with your card. It'll be a little bit more expensive than just getting it off the street, but at least, you're backed by the app, I guess. Let's see. Okay, so that was number 2. How much does it cost to live comfortably out here? It's going to be between $1,500 to $2,000 minimum. If you've got more than that, you're living kind of like a king out here. It's great. But and if you're not there, it doesn't mean you can't come down here for a couple months and experience it, right? But if you want to live here full time, you should probably have that steady income coming in, $1,500 to $2,000. Okay, so number 3. The third most asked question that I see on social media, people commenting on my videos, is what is dating like for foreigners in Medellin? And as much as it's a cringy subject, because we know that a lot of certain people come down here because, again, I have already mentioned it, prostitution's legal. So when I speak about dating, I know some people, even on the internet, I've seen some videos where they confuse hiring someone to hang out with you and do other things as a date. That's not dating in Colombia. Dating is when you go out, just like in the United States, meet someone organically or even on a dating app and spark up a relationship. So dating in Colombia as a whole, whether it's a foreigner or a local, is way different than it is in the United States. Coming from someone that is basically a local, I am Colombian. I was raised in the United States, but I speak Spanish fluently, and now with the Paisa accent. For me, meeting people, talking to women is very easy. It has always been easy, even though I am not the greatest looking person on earth. Some people would argue, but I am not, and I know that. It doesn't stop me from being an interesting person. Doesn't stop me from being funny. I think I have to be more funny than interesting most of the time, but it doesn't stop me from that. So if I can do it, you can too. The number 1 tip that I give people is learn some Spanish. If you come down here with 0 Spanish, guess who's going to be going after you? the people that want money. Whether it's a woman or a man, it's someone that's not really interested in getting to know you because they can't get to know you because you can't express yourself and they can't express themselves to you. And passing a phone back and forth with a translator app gets boring really fast. And finding someone that speaks English, that is a high caliber woman or man in Colombia or in Medellin as a whole, that will spark or have chemistry with you is very unlikely because those people do not run with the circles that meet tourists, right? That meet people online. Those people are high quality people that have their own social circles. So in order to infiltrate those social circles, you have to live here for a while. Be an interesting person. Be part of the community. Do stuff in the community, whether you're an artist, whether you're a business person. Going to the bars and going to clubs, you're not going to meet high quality people here like that. Maybe in the United States, in some parts you will, but in Colombia and Medellin, not really, because here dating culture, there is no real bar culture or club culture where, you know, two single girls will go, or a single woman will go to the bar just to meet someone. That doesn't happen here. You will not see that very often. They will go because they know people there, or they will go in groups. People do things in groups here for many reasons, primarily for safety, because for so many years, our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents have been told, have been instilled in us that we don't go out by ourselves. You have to go out with a group. You got to go out and do this. You know, it's safer in a group. It's safer in a group. So people here, it's part of the culture that if you go to a club, it's very unlikely that someone goes by themselves to a club or a bar, right? It's usually friends meeting friends, doing stuff in the group, celebrating a special occasion, etc. So dating for foreigners, a lot different than it is in the United States. So number one is to learn Spanish. Number two is to limit your use of the dating apps. Unless if you're extremely attractive, because I have some friends that one is from the UK and another one is from the United States. They had to turn Tinder off. They couldn't handle it. They were getting so many matches because, of course, the algorithm pushes the most attractive people to the front. So they were getting like 100 likes. We're talking about like 100 likes in a couple of days, not in a week or a month, where me, I would maybe get one or two a month. So it's like, if you are extremely good looking, you'll have great opportunity on these apps because the algorithm pushes that. Especially if you're blue-eyed, blonde, American, whatever, or even a good-looking African-American guy or Indian. I've seen good-looking Indian friends here that have a lot of success on dating apps from different countries. I have a friend from Ethiopia that came down here, good-looking dude, jacked. He's a fitness expert. He's from Nigeria. He was a trainer of mine. He trained me for a while. That guy killed it on, and he wasn't tall. He was normal height, but would kill it in the dating apps. So those people have very good success. If you're an average looking dude, and you don't speak Spanish, and you're blatantly foreigner, you're going to get hit up by all the prostitutes on there. I'm sorry to say, but it's probably going to be like that because you will match with them too. It's it goes both ways. They have to match with you so that you have to like them. So what I'm trying to say, number one is learn Spanish. Number two is understand culture here. The longer that you're here, the more that you'll be able to see someone and the way they dress and the way they talk and the way they act and know that they come from a different type of neighborhood where you can start filtering people out before you actually go out on a date with them. I can go on Tinder and scroll and be like, I know that the hood. It's like if I went to the United States and went to Los Angeles and I'm staying in a really nice neighborhood in Los Angeles County and I match with people from Compton, Inglewood, Watts, I'd be able to scope them out right away just by looking at them, right? Because I know the culture, I know the way people dress, even if it's a beautiful woman on there, or if you're a woman looking for guys or a guy looking for guys and you see a really attractive looking dude, but he looks hood, and we know what hood looks like from where we come from in the United States, we're going to probably skip out on that. We're not going to, there's a reason why they're talking to me, right? So just understand the culture. So dating for foreigners, it's possible. I've had many friends here that have gotten married. My business partner, AK Joel, met his girlfriend or his wife now on Bumble. So it's very possible, very great relationship that they have. She's an amazing woman, speaks English fluently, graphic artist, has got her own job, very westernized to a point, but very Colombian to another point. So yeah, it's definitely possible, but you have to work at it. It doesn't come just easy. Okay, so number 4 is what can you work remotely or open a business here? And this is where we're going to get to that business question that somebody asked earlier. I forget who it was. So yes, working remotely is very popular here for a lot of foreigners. A lot of people that come down here and live here full time, it's because they have a remote job. People that work or live here part-time also have like part-time remote jobs where they can be out of the office certain months. But most people that do like that are able to live here extended periods of time, it's because they have a remote job. So having a remote job is great. Having an online business is great as well. It's not easy, but it's great but it's great because it allows you the freedom to live here. So why do a lot of people come down here that do have remote jobs? Well, number one, it's because it's very affordable. It's very affordable compared to major cities in the United States like New York, Los Angeles, Miami. We're talking about half or a quarter of the price to live here in a nice neighborhood. If you're making $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you're living a great life here in the nicest neighborhoods as well, and taking trips, getting a flight to Santa Marta for an hour to be on the beach and have a great weekend. Things like that people that I never was able to do, but I do now because I can afford it now, and it's an amazing life. So that's why a lot of people come down here. It's because it's very affordable. Number 2 is because the internet is great here. You can get 500 megabytes download. That's what I have right now. 500 megabytes download speed, 200 megabytes upload speed, working live streaming like this, very stable, no connection drops or very low connection drops. I play video games online every single day almost, and very low connection drops. So the infrastructure is great in Medellin. That's why a lot of remote workers, digital nomads, people that have online business, they come down here and set up shop. Even if it's just part-time, they're able to do it. And the other reason why a lot of people like to come down here that are digital nomads or remote workers is because of the amenities in neighborhoods like Laureles and El Poblado. These are cool neighborhoods. If you haven't been here, you'll find out when you get down here. And you'll probably come into El Poblado to begin with, but even the tourist area of El Poblado is very cool. Even if you don't live in that tourist area, which I highly recommend that you don't live in there because, you've got noise, traffic, etc. I live about a 20-minute walk from there now. But I love living near there because if I want to go on a date, if I want to take my kids somewhere, if I want to go with my family, with my brother to watch a game, for example, I'm going to go watch the NBA game here after this stream, the rest of it, at a local bar. I can walk there or take a 4-minute Uber ride to it if I need to, if I'm in a hurry. There's always something to do. Sometimes there's live music, a guest DJ, a new restaurant popping up. My friends have time to do these things. In the United States, getting friends together, to go to a restaurant, it's kind of like a production, right? You have to coordinate times. You've got to coordinate babysitters. You've got to then realize that you might be spending $100 to $200 to $300 on dinner if it's 3 or 4 of you or whatever. So it's a lot harder in some of the major cities in the United States to get together because people are a lot busier there. This is a smaller city. And the mindset of the locals is kind of a smaller city mindset too. It's kind of like a town type mindset where that's what makes it charming and very attractive to a lot of people that have the means to work online, work from home type thing, right? And on top of that, there's a lot of co-working spots and great cafes with good internet. In El Poblado alone, there's over 50 co-working spots and hundreds of cafes. So it's really easy to find a place to set up, work all day, have great coffee, have brunch, and then go home, right? And go get your $10 haircut and shave, because that's what I pay. I pay about $15 to get my haircut and get shaved. Sometimes they do the waxing and all that stuff. And you could do that every week if you wanted to, if you're making okay money online, from a remote job. Another reason is visa options. A lot of people that are able to work online and they're digital nomads, if they can show that they make a certain amount of money per year or per month, they're able to get a 1-year digital nomad visa that allows them to stay in the country for a year instead of 6 months with a tourist stamp. All right, so, and now talking about business. Someone asked, what would be a good business to start in Medellin? In my opinion, you have to come down here and do market research. I started the Medellin Masterclass, catering to foreigners coming down here. Well, I didn't start it. I started it together with AK Joel. We started the Medellin Masterclass, catering to foreigners that are coming down here, a relocation service of sorts. So that went well, and it's continuing to go well. We have it automated now, where if you are relocating and need help relocating, there's a link in the description to a free webinar. It takes about an hour, so make sure you have an hour's time to go through it, but it'll teach you everything that you need to know, or at least inform you on everything that you need to know to move down here. And we have that automated. We started a real estate company now because we saw the demand. Most of our students that were coming down here for the Medellin Masterclass relocating wanted to buy property here. So what did we do? Instead of referring them out to somebody, we started helping them, and we saw that, hey, we can sell real estate out here. We developed a real estate company. So what I suggest is doing the market research down here, doing something that you're already good at. It's really hard to start over from scratch. I've done it. Like I said, I was deported when I was 28 years old in 2010, and I had to start from scratch. I taught English here, worked a regular job, worked at a call center, taught private lessons, even kids, etc., hustling until I got my digital marketing company set up. What I highly recommend is that you make US dollars, euros, whatever currency that's stronger than the United States or than the Colombian peso, make that money online and live here and contribute to society here by hiring a local to be your assistant, hiring a maid to come every week, hiring a cook to come cook for you, hiring a personal a fitness coach, a nutritionist, whatever it is, you will contribute because you'll be living here and you'll be using that money that you earn online outside of the country and putting it into here, and probably will declare taxes at some point and pay taxes at some point, which is not bad. And even though the tax rate can be upwards to 35% on personal income tax, doesn't mean that you will be paying that. Once you get down here again and you're living your life and you're part of the expat community and local community, you'll start getting references to tax attorneys, to people that can help you optimize your income and expenses in order to declare or at least pay less, whether it's forming a corporation, forming a company out here, etc. So it's just the same as anywhere else in the world. It's just the perk of living here is that you don't need to form a local company or a local business and do business in the economy. You could be an influx to the economy by bringing money from the outside in. And that's what I would recommend, because that's how I started and what I did and what I continue to do. Because even though I sell real estate and it's Colombian real estate, the money is coming from, it's 100% foreigners. It's coming from the United States or from other countries. So, yeah. Lazy Mofo says, I like getting my nails done. Bro, I get my nails done almost every 3 weeks. There's a Dr. Scholl's, and it's literally like a clinic for your feet and your hands. And they do such a great job. The pedicure there is amazing. It's a little pricier. It's pricier than going to a nail salon here, but at least a doctor actually looks at your feet and be like, oh, what's that? Or does this hurt? It's really cool. But yeah, it's something, those are like little luxuries that I never had in the United States because for one, it's not part of the culture. Here in Colombia, guys go to nail salons. They get their nails done. They get their manicure, pedicure. That's not seen as weird as when I was living in the United States it was. And on top of that, it's a lot more expensive out there. Yeah, 35%. But like I said, I've never paid 35% taxes, and I declare every single year. but it's because I've learned to optimize with my accountant over the years. The first year was rough. I paid almost 35% because I didn't know what I was doing. Don't be like me. Because when I got here and I started to make more money, there were no resources for people that didn't understand this, and that, you know, even though I speak Spanish, I still will look at tax code and be like, what the hell is this? I mean, I do that in English sometimes. Now you have ChatGPT, man. Use that. There's no reason why you shouldn't be optimizing your money. What Colombian website can you use to hire someone in Medellin? It depends on what you're looking for. CompuTrabajo is a big one. This one, CompuTrabajo. CompuTrabajo is a big one where they have a lot of listings, or you can list to hire people. I've hired people on Upwork from Colombia because I saw their profile on Upwork, because you can look by regions. And Upwork, I found a programmer there one time. Okay, so that was number 4. Can you work remotely? What business can you open down here? I've seen foreigners come down here and open different types of businesses. Most of them have been restaurants or bars, and most of them have failed. I would say that about 90% of them will fail after 2 years, because that's kind of the statistic nation or worldwide, is that if you can make it past 2 years, you're probably doing something right and you'll make it. But by 2 years, it's kind of like that make or break point. And we see that all the time. Foreigners come down here, they're like, oh, it's a third world and it's cheap to hire labor here, and they seem very nice here, and they're probably honest, and I'm going to open up a sports bar, or I'm going to cater to foreigners. Number one, if you're building a brick and mortar business to cater to foreigners, you're already losing, because there's not enough business to keep you afloat your whole life, right? You're relying on tourism, which can go up and down, and there are seasons here. So relying on that sucks. If you're going to open up a business, cater it to Colombians. That way you have 100% chance of making it, or you have a bigger chance of making it. Or kind of like a combination where you would cater to some foreigners, but your target audience should be Colombians, because those are the people that live here and the people that are going to patronize you the most, right? So that was number 4, working remotely in Colombia, starting business out here. Number 5, final question. Where are the best neighborhoods for expats? I see that question pop up all of the time. What neighborhoods are the best neighborhoods for expats? Off the top of my head, El Poblado, number 1. Why El Poblado, number 1? Because it's the one that everybody goes to. It's the highest estrato. First of all, if you're coming to Medellin for the first time, you will probably go through El Poblado. So most people know that one right away. It's the highest socioeconomic stratum neighborhoods, which is number 6 and above. You've got higher estrato, which are like up in the hills, mansions up in the hills. They're beyond a 6. But technically, they're the highest stratus, or socioeconomic stratum is a 6, and you're going to find those neighborhoods in El Poblado. And a lot of expats, whether it's retirees, whether it's young guys or gals, they want to be in safe neighborhood, at least when they begin their expat journey in Colombia. I've seen a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that come through El Poblado. They buy their apartment in El Poblado, or they rent their long-term rental, their furnished rental, or their long-term unfurnished rental in El Poblado. And then after a year, they're like, okay, now I understand the culture. I'm going to start branching out to different neighborhoods. And one of the big neighborhoods that they branch out to is number 1, Laureles, and number 2, Envigado. Those are the 2 neighborhoods where you could find safe neighborhoods within the neighborhood, and very vibrant, things to do, great food, great people, a very Colombian way of life, as opposed to living in like an apartment complex where most of them are higher, let's say, socioeconomic families, where they have to work, they have to, they're more private. They even though they're friendly and everybody kind of knows each other, they're not blasting music on weekends type things. And some people would rather live in that lifestyle because it's very foreign to them compared to the United States. Living in a Estrato 6 building in El Poblado could be very similar to a middle class building in Miami, in Los Angeles, as opposed to living in a middle class neighborhood in Envigado or Laureles, where you have the papaya guy coming every day to your door screaming, hey, papayas for what, 2 for 5,000, or the avocado man, or whatever it is. You know, it's just a different way of life in those neighborhoods, as opposed to, like, for example, the neighborhood that I'm in. I still get the fruit guy on the corner, but it's not the same as some of these other neighborhoods that are a lot more vibrant, a lot more alive. On the weekends, people drinking on the corner, watching soccer matches, etc. You'll find that more in the working class neighborhoods of Envigado, Laureles. So, and I loved it. When I lived there, I loved it. But I didn't come for that. I came here because I was deported and I was poor and I had to live in those neighborhoods. Now I got money and I've got a kid and I want to have a gated community with a pool with other kids playing soccer, where if he wants to go out when he's 8 years old and play soccer until 7 p.m., I don't have to worry. You know, it's just different lifestyles, different MOs, right? But you can find it all here. Okay, so those were the 5 questions, the big questions. And to I guess to recap the neighborhoods that are most likely where an expat will be in is number 1, El Poblado, number 2, Laureles, number 3, Envigado, and some people even like downtown Medellin, and Belén. Belén's a big one too. I have a lot of foreign friends that live in Belén, and they love Belén. So Belén could be another one there. So those are the neighborhoods that are frequented by expats. Those were the 4 questions. Number 1, is Medellin safe for foreigners? Number 2, how much does it cost to live comfortably? Number 3, what's dating like for foreigners? Number 4, can you work remotely or open a business here in Medellin? And number 5, what are the best neighborhoods for expats? Now let's go back to the chat here. Let's see if we missed anything. Well, I know I missed a bunch, but let's see. It looks like you guys were talking to each other. Hey, what's up, Zakia? Zaki Saeed, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. CBL, what's good? CBL, hope you're having a great day. Lazy says, Chontaduro. Yeah, you Chontaduro, man. Is it safe to run outside? Yes, it's safe to run outside. People do it all the time. Now that I live, I guess, running distance away from my gym, I'll run to my gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30, 7 latest. Although I have a pretty nice gym here. I've been going to that one too. It's really nice. It's you said it's Zakai. Zaki. Oh, Zaki. Sorry, Zaki. Do you get fined if you miss HOA meetings? Yeah, just like in the US, you can get fined, but you can have a proxy. Your neighbor could be your proxy. Just bought my one-way ticket and landed here 10 days ago. Let's go, Elliot Franco. Welcome to Medellin. Doing the thing, man. I hope you enjoy it. Stay safe, stay smart, eat a lot of beans, because that's what I love beans here, man. I'm a bean fanatic. Sam, I am. What's up? What are the price ranges for buying in these areas you just mentioned? A good price would be around $200,000. If you have around $200,000, you could find a nice 2 to 3 bedroom apartment in El Poblado in certain neighborhoods. Yeah, you can find them. You can find them. You just have to talk to me. There's a link in the description below. Make sure to click it, fill it out, fill out the form if you're looking to buy a property, and somebody on my team will get back to you, and then we will get to business. We will get to work. Alex, what's up? Alex says, hi, can you compare Sabaneta and Envigado? I don't mind the distance from El Poblado. Okay, so the difference between Sabaneta and Envigado is that Sabaneta is smaller. You're talking about 50,000 people that live in Sabaneta, and Envigado, it's like 200,000. So Sabaneta is still like a small town, but it's a very cramped and crammed small town, and it's getting more cramped and crammed, and they're just building on the side of the mountain there. So a lot of the buildings are on a steep hill. That's one of the things that I don't like. I do like that it is very small townish. Like the town square is awesome. I love going out there and walking around, especially during December. Envigado is a little bit bigger, and it's more, I guess there's more space. But they're kind of similar in a way too, because they were at one point small towns. Envigado has just grown a lot more. Pereira 700,000 and growing. Yeah, I remember when Pereira was just 500,000. Yeah. So Colleen says, hey Andrew, I was planning on moving to Medellin or to Colombia in December from the U.S. When would it be best to reach out to your team to get transition started? I suggest at least going through the here. Oh shoot, I don't have it in here. Let me see. I'm gonna put the link in the description right now for you to the webinar. At least watching the webinar to get prepped. Most people start now. If you're looking for to transition or at least to come to Colombia in December, you should start now. Like people that do our course, the Medellin Masterclass, they do it months, if not a year in advance, because they're people that they know they're going to be moving. So there's a lot of things to prepare for. You know, something as small as like renewing all of your credit cards and your driver's license. Just little easy things like that we go over to something even more complicated as you know, if you've got kids, you know, getting a nanny out here, getting a cleaning lady, doing all this stuff that you can prepare for months in advance to make your transition a lot easier. This is the link here to that webinar. Make sure you have an hour. Don't click on it yet. Save it. Make sure you have an hour to take it. Save the link so that when you do have an hour, because it's a running webinar, so you can't pause it. So make sure that you have at least an hour to take it and go through it. And it's free. It's a free webinar. I'll put it here. Oh yeah, it is on it is in the description below as well too. Okay. What about getting a driver's license in Colombia? All you got to do is pay. Unfortunately, I'm not supposed to say that but the corruption's high here. I mean, everybody knows that. If you pay, you will get your credit. You will get your driver's license. You could go through take the course and everything way, but you can pay and get it, and it's good for 10 years. As long as you're not blind or deaf, you'll be fine. Alex, I just bought Medellin Made Easy class. I'm coming in September just to visit for now. All right, let's go, Alex. Awesome. Make sure to reach out to us when you do get down here. I do like to meet with people, whether it's for coffee, for a beer, to go watch the game because the game's on right now. Yeah, we'll link up. Life with David. What's up, Life with David? How's it going? Guys, we've got a celebrity in the midst. Life with David is awesome, guys. If you don't know his channel, I'm sure if you watch my channel, you have to have watched Life with David. Probably the best Medellin channel out there. A lot of information there. Hope you're having a great Life with David life. Sam, I am. Some people don't even have a driver's license and they still drive. Yeah, but you will get fined here. They are sticklers with that here. What's the best restaurant to watch soccer matches like Champions League and the World Cup next year? Champions League, I really love going to El Social, or pretty much any corner store if you're in Laureles or in Envigado. But like bars, you know, Vibe, Highway, Mama Panda, love those bars. If you need to find anything in Medellin, make sure to Google MDE Community. I have no affiliation. I don't make any money from them by shouting them out or anything like this. I just love that community. MDE Community. Google that. You'll find a website that has all of the WhatsApp group chats for anything that you want to do out here, whether it's hiking, whether you're a parent, whether you're an artist, whether you're into AI. I mean, they've got a group pretty much for anything. If you like ice baths, there's a group that does that. Pretty much for anything. It's 24.19 pesos. Thank you, CBL. If you're a non-resident, you can use USA license, but only for a few months. I don't believe it forever. That's not the real Life with David? Oh well. Zaki says, the GOAT? Yeah, I am the GOAT. No, he is the GOAT, Life with David. Yeah, so guys, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the live. If you're watching the repeat or you're watching the recorded version, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to make a comment down below. I am very active in the comment section. Make sure you hit the bell so that you get the notifications when I do go live, because I do plan on going live. I just set up my new studio, guys. This is not the old studio that I was in. This is a new studio. Love it. I just need to get air conditioning in here. I don't know if you can see me sweating, but it's hot in here because I've got the sound canceling curtains and I've got the door closed and I've got these lights on and it's hot in here. But I really love doing this, and I love you guys, and I hope that when you come to Colombia and to Medellin, you enjoy it and you have the time of your life. And if you see me out there, say hi. I'm very approachable. If you see me out there, buy me a drink, buy me a coffee. No, I'm just kidding. But I hope to catch you out here, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next live. Have a great one.